this is Anna from Altair. I'm with Melanie, a really good friend I met in Singapore when I was training with the Association of Master Trainers. Thank you for your time, Mel.
It's okay.
Can you tell me a bit more about your LSP journey and what brought you to the association?
Okay, so about 5 years ago, I was introduced to Lego Serious Play in the organisation that I was working in at the time, and I loved it so much that when I started my next role in a new organisation, I asked if I could bring Lego Serious Play there. I got approval, and so I went off and did a 2-day training course in Australia on how to facilitate Lego Serious Play. After maybe about 12 months ago, I did a workshop with someone who had done the 4-day training course with the certification course, and I learned during that workshop that there was some really subtle, but there were still quite big differences in the way it was applied. So I then decided that I needed to go off and learn what I was missing in my toolkit, and I went off and did the 4-day course in Singapore.
What main takeaways did you get from the 4 days in Singapore?
With the 4 days, I found that there were some real differences in the way Lego Serious Play can be applied. I particularly loved, how more refined it was and that the methodology and the experience of this facilitator, who was Robert Rasmussen, was incredibly valuable. Mm-hmm. He has tried every different way of applying Lego Serious Play and has learnt from his mistakes, and so he really had some really valuable insight into how to use it. We were also able to do a really big landscape structure of using Lego Serious Play, and we were really able to immerse ourselves in that, which I found the 2-day course didn't do a lot of, and that process really opened my eyes into how valuable Lego Serious Play can be for organisations, and I have walked away from that understanding that you can't rush Lego Serious Play, that it's really, really important to find the time to do it properly.
Robert is truly inspirational. As we know, he's one of the original founders of Lego Serious Play. That's why we are so thrilled to be able to bring the Association of Master Trainers certification to Melbourne and Sydney. So Melbourne, it'll be the 18th to 21st of November. So for those watching them today, Mel, what advice would you give them? Why do the 4-day course?
I'd advise that they do the 4-day course because it gives you a more refined understanding of Lego Serious Play. It's a difference between being a facilitator and a certified practitioner, and because of that, you've got a more informed understanding of the methodology, so you know if you do need to compromise, what you're actually going to lose as a result of that. And I think that was the big differences that I found between the two different training.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Mel.
That's okay.